If I told you that most men are stressing over the wrong thing, would you believe me? Because today I'm going to break down what urologists and relationship researchers have actually discovered about what women truly value based on science, not myths, not locker room talk, and definitely not the nonsense you see online. And trust me, the answer is going to surprise you in the best possible way. Here's the truth. Men spend years worrying about measurements that don't define their worth, don't improve their relationships, and don't make them healthier. But research consistently shows that women care far more about emotional connection, confidence, communication, and overall well-being than any number on a ruler. Urologists say that a man's health, his energy, and the way he carries himself play a much bigger role in attraction than any physical measurement he can obsess over. And when women are asked what actually matters in long-term intimacy, the vast majority point to comfort, trust, and how present a partner is, not a specific size. So instead of trying to match unrealistic expectations, focus on becoming the strongest, healthiest, most confident version of yourself. When you take care of your body, you boost your hormones, your stamina, your mindset, and your presence. When you communicate openly, you build real connection. And when you let go of insecurity, you show up with the kind of confidence that attracts naturally. That's what women respond to. That's what science supports. And that's what will elevate every part of your life. Whether you're in your 30 seconds, 50 seconds, or even your 70s, remember this. The goal is not to chase numbers, it's to build the kind of health and confidence that makes you feel in control again. And the moment you shift your focus toward your well-being, everything in your relationships improves along with it. When we talk about what women actually value, confidence, communication, and connection rise to the top every single time because the qualities shape how a woman feels when she's with you. And that feeling is what creates real attraction that lasts. Confidence isn't about pretending to be perfect or acting like you have everything figured out. It's about carrying yourself with calmness and self-respect, showing that you're comfortable in your own skin. When a man is confident, he doesn't rely on external validation. And that creates a sense of stability that women naturally respond to. Communication plays an equally powerful role because it builds trust without forcing anything. When you can openly talk about what you feel, what you want, and what you appreciate, you remove all the guesswork that usually causes tension or insecurity in relationships. Women consistently say they feel closer to a man who genuinely listens, responds with intention, and communicates with honesty. And then there's connection, the part that holds everything together. Connection is created through presence, through the way you look at someone, way you make them feel understood, the attention you give when you're together. Studies show that partners feel most satisfied not because of superficial traits, but because they feel emotionally safe and respected. These three qualities, confidence, communication, and connection, are what make a man stand out in meaningful ways that have nothing to do with measurements or unrealistic ideals. When women talk about what they want in a partner, they describe someone who makes them feel valued, heard, and supported, someone who brings warmth, effort, and consistency. And the best part is that every man can build these qualities. No special genetics required, no comparison needed. Just a willingness to grow stronger internally so it naturally shows externally. Your overall health, mindset, and presence shape the kind of energy you bring into any relationship. And this energy has a far greater impact on attraction than men usually realize. When you take care of your physical health, you naturally improve your stamina, hormone balance, mood, and confidence, all of which women notice long before anything else. A man who invests in his well-being carries himself differently. He has more strength, more focus, and more stability, and that creates a sense of security that partners are drawn to. Your mindset plays an equally powerful role because the way you think determines the way you show up. When you cultivate a positive, grounded mindset, you stop comparing yourself to others and start appreciating your own progress. And that shift alone makes you more attractive in a way that feels real and effortless. Women pay attention to how a man thinks, to how he handles stress, to how he approaches challenges, because these things reveal what it might feel like to build a future with him. And then there's presence, the quality most men overlook. Presence is about being fully engaged when you're with someone, listening without distraction, showing genuine interest, giving your time and attention without rushing. Women consistently say that a man who is present stands out more than a man who is simply trying to impress, because presence communicates respect, attentiveness, and emotional maturity. When your health is strong, your mindset is steady, and your presence is intentional, you automatically become more appealing in ways that go beyond anything physical. These qualities create comfort, connection, and trust, and they show that you're someone who puts in effort, grows consistently, and brings real value into a relationship when you stop chasing numbers and start focusing on becoming stronger, healthier, and more confident. Everything in your life begins to shift in a way that feels natural and empowering because you're no longer measuring yourself against unrealistic standards. You're measuring yourself against your own potential. Men often waste years stressing over things they can't change, while ignoring the areas that actually make them more attractive, more capable, and more fulfilled. When you redirect the energy into improving your fitness, your habits, your mindset, and your emotional strength, you create a version of yourself that feels grounded and in control. This kind of growth builds a quiet confidence that women recognize immediately. It's not loud, it's not forced, and it's not dependent on anyone else's approval. It comes from knowing you're taking care of your body, investing in your well-being, and showing up for yourself consistently. As you get healthier, your energy improves, your mood lifts, and your presence becomes stronger. All these changes naturally influence how you carry yourself in conversations and relationships. When you become more confident, you communicate better, you handle stress more calmly, and you show up with a level of clarity that makes people feel safe around you. When you stop fixating on numbers, you create space to build deeper connection because your attention shifts toward what truly matters: being supportive, being present, and being someone who leads with intention instead of insecurity. The men who thrive in relationships and in life are the ones who take responsibility for their growth and stay focused on what they can control. Every small improvement you make, whether physical, mental, or emotional, adds up. And over time, these improvements shape you into a stronger, wiser, more confident man who attracts respect and connection naturally.